the opening act to our final comic and headliner. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard his worst date. We've seen his curly hair poking from the kitchen. Let's give a warm welcome to John Lee Rudolph!
Can I start by getting a big round of applause for all the comics who went before me. Alright, so how's everybody doing? Doing good? Doing good? Everybody have a good Valentine's Day? No. Yes! Awesome. Judging by Instagram, everyone had a fucking fantastic Valentine's Day. No, but I realized something about social media yesterday, which is age is important when you're posting, because when you see old people post on Valentine's Day, it's cute. When you see young people post on Valentine's Day, it's fucking disgusting. It's terrible. Like, I saw a 70-year-old who captioned their post, "Happy Valentine's Day, my love. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you." That's adorable. I was like, that is adorable. Saw a 17-year-old caption their post the same thing. I was like, I give it a month. Don't believe that. I personally did not celebrate my Valentine's Day. I recently went through a breakup. Shut the fuck up, you know. It was actually, funnily enough, it was my second consecutive breakup in which I get broken up with. Don't cry. I end up comforting the crying girl. Oh my god. It's a fun little role reversal. I get to play a cool game with myself called Am I a Great Person or an Emotionless Monster? She was bisexual, the ex, and she talked very frequently about wanting to have sex with women. That's not why we broke up. We broke up because we wanted different things, and in this case, we wanted the exact same thing. Sexual partners who are female. But no, she talked about it very frequently. She never talked about other guys. It was only girls, which, you know, leads me to wonder, what kind of vibe am I putting out? That she's like, women. And John Lee, one time she was just like, yeah, I'm looking for the least masculine guy imaginable, so I need a guy who does theater, is afraid of physical confrontation, and cries during the montage from Up, and I was like, yes, you're looking for me. Yeah, she asked me one time if I would be interested in trying a threesome, and I said no. I have enough trouble sexually satisfying one woman at a time, and now you're just gonna toss a second one in there all willy-nilly? Come on. That's not fair. That's not fair to me. That would be like double-teaming the worst shooter on a basketball team. Like, I was gonna struggle to get this in when there was just one of you. Now you're throwing in a second. Like, I know some guys who were like, yo, 2 girls at once? That's my fantasy. My fantasy is doing a good job, and one day... You know, it's hard, pleasing a woman. It's hard to please a woman. I hope that's true. No, it is, because, like, the vagina is so complicated. Like, women and gays, you don't realize how easy you have it with the penis. Like, there's no wrong hole on a penis. Like, the penis is simple, it is dumb, it is easily distracted by shiny objects. Pleasing a man is like running a race, you know? The distances vary, sometimes there are a couple hurdles, but it's pretty straightforward to the finish line. Pleasing a woman is like navigating a labyrinth, because I don't know where the fuck I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, and if I stay in there for too long, the consequences are disastrous. I am single, trying to put myself out there. I don't really know what I'm doing. My initial pickup strategy wasn't working. I tried getting up in front of people with a microphone and doing jokes about how I'm bad at sex, and it turns out doesn't turn people on. Not a real penny dropper, that one. I believe in setting realistic expectations for how I'm going to perform, because I feel like pop culture sets very unrealistic expectations of sex. Like, I heard a song recently for the first time in which they describe a woman riding it like a soldier. Soldiers are, of course, famous for their ability to ride erect penis. And like, I've been trying to figure out what that means, and like, correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm guessing that means is that she rides it like a soldier because she's good at following orders, which... Yeah, that's not where this is going. I've never given an order in bed in my life. I give suggestions, like, hey, take off your shirt if you want to. Or, you know, like, stop hitting me, or don't, it's really your choice. There's riding it like a soldier, riding it like a cowboy. Every girl I've ever been with has ridden it like a bus passenger. Uncomfortably, and because it was the only available option. People are getting kinkier, that's a thing that's happening. Kinkier, like, choking is a thing? Anyone here into choking? We are attempting murder in the bedroom. I don't get that one, but that's, you know, that's a cool perk they don't tell you about dying by strangulation, is that you probably die horny. You know, you get to be blue in the face and in the balls. It's a really cool thing. That's a lot of fun. And there's one kink in particular that I just can't get behind. I hate it so much, and that's being called daddy. Yeah, I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate it because I'm an actor, and if you call me daddy, I get into character. And I need to figure out who daddy is, you know? What makes daddy tick? Why is daddy here having sex with a college-age girl? Do you want to come with me on this journey? Yes! So, daddy's been under a lot of stress. He's working like some unfulfilling job for some bullshit company. It has limited upward mobility, and like the money's good, but it's not that good. It's not great. Like the bills are piling up, and you know, a few years ago, Daddy, he put a pool into the backyard. He thought it would be really fun for his kids, Sarah and Jeremy. He thought he could invite the whole neighborhood over, it'd be really cool, show off his grilling skills. But now the thing's a fucking money pit, and the kids don't even use it. It's such bullshit. And like his wife Marissa, she's like, "Oh, you gotta clean the pool," and he's like, "But I don't want to." And now I know you're probably thinking, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Daddy's married. He has a wife and kids. Why is he frolicking with this floozy? Why is he having sex with her?" And look, he knows that Marissa has cheated on him. He just knows it. He can't prove it, but he knows it. I mean, Jesus, he doesn't even know that Jeremy is his kid. He has the neighbor's hair. There was a pool party a couple years ago and they seemed close, and now he just can't shake this feeling that his kid isn't his kid. And like, what is he supposed to do? Talk to Marissa about it? Destroy the foundation of their marriage? Trust? He can't do that. He doesn't want to do that. But what else is he supposed to do? Take a paternity test? What if he's right? What if he's right and this kid isn't his? I mean, what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to continue to raise and care for this child knowing that he was sired by the seed of another man? How is he supposed to do that? You know, all these feelings, these feelings, they overwhelm him. So he turns to the bottle. His family has a history of alcoholism, but he's fought it for 23 years, but one night, it all just becomes too much. So he goes to this bar, and he gets wasted, and it's also a bar that the local college kids frequent, and in walks this girl. And maybe it's the alcohol, but he feels like he can tell her anything. They have this intense connection, and so he shares with her. And for the first time in his life, he feels like someone's listening. sharing an Uber to a motel room. It's not classy, but it takes cash, so it'll do. And they go inside. They go inside, and he doesn't know what'll happen, but he starts to take his wedding ring off, and she says, "No, keep it on. But take everything else off." And so he starts having sex with this slut, and now we're back at the beginning. She calls him daddy. And all of a sudden, he's not in a cheap motel room banging this whore. He's in the backyard. Before the pool. And he's playing softball with his daughter Sarah from the beginning of the story. And he's tossing her softballs. And she hits one over the fence, and she says, "Daddy, Daddy, I did it." And he says, "You did, kiddo." And they run, and they share an embrace. No. And he's happy, because this was back when she called him daddy. Now it's just dad, and it's not the same. And this memory, it hits him, and all of a sudden he's crying. He's crying. Tears are streaming down his face and onto the naked body of this woman who, let's face it, she's not a slut. It's the 21st century. She can do what she wants. And he leaves, sobbing, racked with shame, racked with guilt, and he runs away. He goes to his car, but he can't drive, so he sits there and he sobs. And that is why I hate being called daddy. That and it's just sort of icky.